हरे कृष्ण। ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे कृष्णपादाय कृष्ण। I was not able to share properly. So we are discussing about Lord Shiva and how Brahmaji is glorifying Lord Shiva. And Prabhupada is giving very nice insights into this. We'll just take two, three, we'll just go just one, two shlokas behind to get the context properly. So we'll take, my dear Lord, your lordships have introduced the system of sacrifice through the agency of Daksha, and thus one may derive the benefits of religious activity and economic development under your regulative principles. The instructions of four Varnas and Ashramas is respected. The Brahmanas, therefore, vow to follow the system strictly. So, actually, Supreme Lord is helping us to be happy in this material world by the method of sacrifice. And sacrifice uh, teaching two things. One is respect and gratitude. So anybody who develops this respect and gratitude, even in the any non-Vedic cultures also, he can be happy. So that is the formula. It need not be like you have to do the sacrifice this way only, because even within Bhagavad Gita, the 14th chapter, you have 15 types of sacrifices Krishna is mentioning. That means what, you can have many number of sacrifices. The main principle behind it is respect and gratitude. So anybody living with these values, he will be happy. That's actually what. And previously, it was done in a very, very huge way to create an impact. That okay, everybody will be affected. Say, I can practice respect and gratitude in my life and all. And if the leader of the state, he is doing a huge sacrifice and he is performing a big yajna and all, he is actually teaching to many of the people in this country. All his subjects are nicely made him understand, okay, this is what we are supposed to do. So in that way, he's setting an example. And he will help all the citizens also to learn this principle and to be happy. That is the method. And now Brahma is telling that, oh, you are also the Supreme Lord, so you only established. So why you are destroying it? So in that way, he is trying to question Lord Shiva. No, you are supposed to establish, and Daksha is doing it. No, you cannot destroy it. So, most auspicious Lord, you have ordained the heavenly planets, the spiritual Vaikuntha planets, and the impersonal Brahman sphere as the respective detentions of performers of auspicious activity. Similarly, for others who are miscreants, who have destined different kinds of hell, which are horrible and ghastly, yet sometimes it is found that their destructions are just destinations just opposite. Is very difficult. So here Brahma is pointing that Are Ajamila did sinful activities, you are sending him to Vaikuntha. Daksha did pious activity, you are sending him to hell. But actually, Lord is always very merciful. He is a very kind-hearted father, mother also. Now, he never does any injustice to anyone. In Ajamila's case, he was having sinful tendency but not offenses. In Daksha's cases, he is not having sinful activity but he's offensive. So offense is more dangerous than sin also. In sin, we are trying to enjoy our senses and mind, but in offenses, we are going against the tendency of the soul. That's the reason which is very serious. We are supposed to serve, and I have a tendency to enjoy, but I also want to serve others. But in the case of Daksha, he is enjoying. That's not a problem. But he's creating obstacle for his eternal soul, that is to serve the Supreme Lord and Vaishnavas. So that is more dangerous. That's why even a person is sinful. Like I have a tendency to eat. What do you tell them? offer and eat to Krishna, offer it to Krishna and eat. So that's a say, oh, that much only, simple only. Okay, I'll do it. So he'll not have problem. But if I have an attitude of envious attitudes towards Krishna and Vaishnavas, then I'll say, no, I'll not offer. Why? That is the problem. So a sinful person you can bring into, make into Krishna conscious. But a person who's offensive, you tell him offer to Krishna, he's envious. He will say, I will not offer. This is more dangerous. So that is what is happening to Daksha. He is going to become inimical towards the Lord. So that's why he need to be punished. And that then he will come to his senses and then he says, okay, okay, okay. With Vaishnavas, I will not do anything. I will not become envious. And that too, a great personality like Lord Shiva, it is much more dangerous. That's why here the punishment is given to him. Even though he is pious, you are not exempted. You have to take punishment. So it is more dangerous than sinful activities also, committing Vaishnava Prad. We should be very careful. Even hearing about them negative is also very dangerous for us. And every time it happens, even unconsciously also, anybody comes to meet and talk, somehow or other, there will be discussion of some devotee and some negative thing happened that counts only. We have to be very careful. I speak so many times and I also end up in the situation. After that, I say, why am I hearing this? Why am I discussing this? I feel bad, but somehow we get carried away by the situation. So we should be careful in that. And then he says that, my dear Lord, devotees who are fully dedicated the life unto your lotus feet certainly observe your presence as Paramatma in each and every being. And as such, they do not differentiate between one living being and another. This is what is a Mahabhagavata. He is able to see the Lord in all living entities. So he also understands that all are spirit soul, they're all pure. Such persons treat all living entities equally. They never become overwhelmed by anger like animals who can see nothing without differentiation. And then in next sloka, persons who observe everything with differentiation, who are simply attached to fruitive activities, who are mean-minded, who are always pained to see the flourishing condition of others, and who thus give distress to them by uttering harsh and piercing words, have already been killed by providence. Thus, there is no need for them to be killed again by an exalted personality like you. So, what does it mean they are killed? Killed in the sense they are no more enjoying anything which is supposed to be enjoyed at a human level. Their consciousness already got degraded. Or you are given certain facility, but you are not able to enjoy that facility. That means it is as good as not having only. So here also it's same thing what Brahma is telling to Lord Shiva. They are already dead. So what is your point of killing? They are already killing themselves. Like we discussed this also many times. Right? We say, oh hell, people go to hell. And Prabhupada said London is hell. Of course, now all cities in India are also hell only. I sometimes I feel so sad that I am staying in this city. That so bad places, so much passionate. So the point is what? Hell is not just geographical location also. So death is also does not mean just a separation of subtle body from the gross body. It also means that your consciousness is like an animal. So it's almost like dead and they are killed by providence. Thus, there is no need. That means they are already diminished their lifespan also. If we offend great personalities, the lifespan is diminished. And Prabhupada also wrote very nice purport. We discuss this, but again, if we read, I'm 100% guarantee we'll get many new points in this. But we'll go ahead with our next purport. When last pair I will read just. A Vaishnava should follow the examples of such Vaishnavas as Haridas Thakur, Nityanand Prabhu, and also Lord Jesus Christ. There is no need to kill anyone who are already being killed. But it should be noted here with that a Vaishnava should not tolerate the blasphemy of, of Vishnu or Vaishnavas, although he should tolerate personal insults to himself. So this is actually what we need to follow. यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करणाभमाय दुरत्यया स्पृष्टदियः पृथग्दृशः कुर्वन्ति तत्र हि अनुकम्पया कृपां न साधवो दैव बलाकृते कमम्. My dear Lord, if in some places materialistic who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusory energy of Supreme Lord sometimes commits offenses, a saintly person with compassion does not take this seriously. Knowing that they commit offense because they are overpowered by the illusory energy, he does not show his powers to counteract them. So here is telling, but see, Brahma is telling to Lord Shiva, see, some people they commit out of influence of illusion. Why we should take so serious about them? You are trying to use your powers on some ignorant people. Like this happens. Like say, if mad person is there and he's shouting and he's abusing, yelling, nobody takes him seriously. He's just on the road and he's making some noise and shouting, and whoever he sees is abusing. People say he's a mad person, they will let him go. So same thing Brahma is telling. It is said that the beauty of tapasvi or saintly person is forgiveness. This is the first quality of a Brahmana also. Why he is forgiving? Because he understands the energy of material nature behind that person who is acting. He just does not see the instrument. He sees the cause behind the instrument. Like say if somebody is coming and saying some bad things to him, what we should immediately feel, oh, I am getting my karma back. I don't see the instrument. He is just an instrument of my karma. So why I should take it offense? So that's the point. There are many instances in spiritual history of the world in which many saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. So gives Parikshit Maharaj example. So yesterday also we were discussing. Parikshit was unnecessarily cursed, and this was very much regretted by boy's father that he will die. And Parikshit Maharaj was emperor, full in power both spiritually and materially, but out of compassion, out of respect for the Brahmana community, he did not counteract the actions of the Brahmana boy, but agreed to die within 7 days because it was desired by Krishna, and Parikshit agreed to be punished so that the instructions of Srimad Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world. And Parikshit Maharaj was advised not to take action. Now, this is very important. So, Parikshit Maharaj was doing great service to the society, but still he agreed to go through that because he understands this is the will of Lord. Are you are doing so much welfare for the society. If you continue to live, you can do more welfare to society. Yes, but whatever welfare I did to the society, Parikshit Maharaj is thinking that it is by the power of Krishna. And Krishna want he can appoint somebody else and get these things done. Not only me. If he's telling me to come out, I'll come out. And Krishna can empower somebody else and he will take care of it. He can do whatever I am doing because it's all Krishna who is doing. So this is a very this consciousness always remains with devotees. They know that it is will of Krishna that is happening. It's not just because I am thinking about it. A Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. When he does not show his powers, this does not mean that he is lacking in strength. Rather, it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire human society. This is a very important thing for a Vaishnava. He is concerned about the welfare of the society all the time. We should develop this more and more within ourselves. We should feel concern for other living entities. We should show compassion. We should feel concern for the whole of humanity in general also, but some level, at least some compassion, some feeling should be there. That will please the Lord. That means we are not living so selfishly for ourselves. What for me? What is my breakfast? What is my lunch? What is my dinner? All the time thinking about my eating, all the time thinking about my bank balance, all the time thinking about. Okay, when I say Proji, I'm thinking about my family. I'm concerned about others. Yes, that, but in general also we should be concerned for others also. At least whoever is connected to us, our colleagues, other family relatives, family members, at least show concern means we should care for all these people at least. Whoever is all people around us who are connected to us or who are in touch with us, for material people also we should care. At least we should show that we care for them by giving prashad or something we should show. That is how we should live, and that is where we should find real happiness. Not in Just thinking about ourselves, when I will do this, when I'll get what I'll get, that is actually not the way to live. Means, of course, that is that also is a way to live, but that is not the highest way to live. That will not make us get something higher in life. See, purpose of life is to elevate the consciousness. And slowly, slowly, we should come to the highest level of consciousness, that is Krishna consciousness. But if I am not growing my consciousness even this much, where is the question of getting Krishna conscious? If you are not even able to feel the presence of people around you and treat them as human beings and concern and care for them, how can I care for the Supreme Lord? Slowly, slowly, we should. Where one time comes where we are completely. I care even for Krishna. Like I want to. I treat him. When we treat him as a person, then we are caring for that person. That means. So I care for Krishna. And then Krishna says, "Oh, you are so much caring about me. I'll also care." Otherwise, also he does. So this is very important. So Vaishnava is he's always for the welfare of whole human society. Something or other we should do every day for others. At least that much we can start. Okay, today I will just do one thing. I will go out of my way. I'll purchase something, give, or I'll call something and talk with them. Out of way, we do something. Slowly, slowly, we should develop that qualities. भवांस्तु पुंसः परमस्य मायया दुरन्तया स्पृष्टमहित्समस्तदृक् तया हितांशु अनुकम्पमचेतसो अनुग्रहं कर्तुमिहार्हसि प्रभो. My dear Lord, you are never bewildered by the forbidding influence of illusory energy of Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, you are omniscient and should be merciful and compassionate towards those who are bewildered by some illusory energy and very much attached to fruitive activities. Actually, Lord Shiva is like that only. He is caring not only uh, uh, devotees, he is caring even the most sinful living entities, bhutas, pretas, pishachas. They are all actually very sinful personalities, and Lord Shiva is caring for all of them. And here again, the same qualities of a Vaishnava is never bewildered by the influence of external energy because he is engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Daiviyesha gunami mama maya duratya. A Vaishnava said that should take care of those who are bewildered by his Maya instead of becoming angry with them. Because without a Vaishnava's mercy, they have no way to get out of the clutches of Maya. And Prabhupada is giving the translation of Vancha Kalpatarubhis. Those who are under the influence of illusory energy are attached to the fruitive activities. But a Vaishnava preacher attracts their hearts to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. कुर्वद्वर्षयोधरणमहतस्य भो त्वया समाप्तस्य मनो प्रजापते न यत्र भागं तव भागिनो ददो कुञ्जाजिनो येन मखो नीयते. My dear Lord Shiva, you are shareholder of a portion of sacrifice and you are the giver of the result. The bad piece did not deliver your share and therefore you destroyed everything and the sacrifice remains unfinished. Now you can do the needful and take your rightful share. Actually, that is not the reason Lord Shiva is upset that his share did not come. He is upset because Sati committed suicide and more he wanted to teach Daksha a lesson. So not that okay, you did not give me, no, I will also. He's not in a revengeful mood. Brahma is indicating, but Lord Shiva is not revengeful. He is compassionate. जीवितादिजमानोऽयं प्रपद्ये का दाक्षिणी भगः भृगो संसृतीन् रोहन्तु पुंसो पूष्णो दन्ताश्च Purvavat, my dear Lord, by your mercy. So first thing is you destroy the sacrifice. Is it? Oh, because you are not given, you destroyed. So please try to restore the sacrifice. Take your share. And then so Brahma is coming for a compromise. He's telling Shiva to compromise because you are not given, you destroyed. No, no, no. Please take it. And he don't talk about Sati only, Brahma. That is not actually correct. Well, Lord Shiva, what about Sati? She died now. That he is not talking. He is telling you restore Yajna, and he's telling, my dear Lord, by your mercy, the performers of sacrifice, Daksha, may get his life back, Bhaga get his eyes back, Bhrugu his mustache, and Pusha his teeth. What about Sati? Devan Bhagana Gatranam Ritwijam Chaudasam Abhi Bhavatanugrahatanam Aso Mayostu Anatruman. Lord Shiva, may the demigods and the priests whose limbs have been broken by your soldiers recover from their injuries by your grace. एषते रुद्रभागोऽस्तु यदुच्छिष्टोद्वर्ष द्वरस्य वै यज्ञस्ते रुद्रभागेन कल्पताम् अद्य यज्ञहन्. O destroyer of sacrifice, please take your portion of sacrifice. Let the sacrifice be completed by your grace. And a sacrifice purpose writing, very nice purpose. A sacrifice is a ceremony performed to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhagavatam, the first canto, second chapter, said that everyone should try to understand whether the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied by his activity. In other words, the aim of our activity should be to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead, just as in any office, it is the duty of worker to see that the proprietor or the master is satisfied. So everyone's duty is to see whether the Supreme Personality of Godhead is satisfied by one's activities. Very, 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 very important point. See, why the problem, the generation, what is the problem with this is, see, all the demigods are working to please the Supreme Lord. It is so clear here. And they are also enjoying so much opulence. Not that Indra and all these people, they are always in suffering. No, they are enjoying unlimited opulence. And but what they are doing, they are working to please the Supreme Lord also. That is the way of being happiness in this world. This is very important point I want to tell. The way to be happy is to please our superiors. That means children can have all prosperity and everything will come when they are nicely taking care of their parents. So this is where the respect and gratitude comes. When they take care of parents nicely, then immediately your mind will become very peaceful and calm. You know that my pleasure is in the pleasure of my superiors. This is the formula of Vedic culture. And now, then what happens is all the time you work and you are given that type of ego. And and slowly, so here demigods work for the Supreme Lord and all the living entities work for the demigods, pleasing demigods in the sacrifice system or the Supreme Lord directly. And then the people who are below them, they also become happy. So parasparam bhavayanta. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, you please the demigod, demigods will supply you. Then the people under them, the kings and all the Brahmana priests, they are doing sacrifice. So these people, they work under them. So they also get prosperity. So in that way, everybody is prosperous. That's what actually Krishna is telling, that our pleasure is in the pleasure of superiors. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasadu. You please your guru, Krishna is satisfied. You please your parents, even the prosperity, Lakshmi Devi will enter into the house if they are properly taking care of their elders, children, women, brahmanas, cows. So these people are nicely, this respect is given. All people are taken care nicely, then they will get definitely benefited. So this is the important point. But what happens is now the training is very wrongly done. It is told that you just have to enjoy this world. But our enjoyment, how it is there, that is told, okay, you become a good consumer. That is the way of becoming happiness. You are ultimately making a person consumer. All the things you teach and all to make him a good consumer. He don't know how to live only. At the age of 12, he feels they are told, okay, you like to wear girls' clothes or boys' clothes. Oh, I want to wear girls' clothes, then change your gender. This is the problem, you know. And I don't want to go deep in this subject, but let it. I will. Uh, we will just complete this one paragraph. In other words, the aim of our activity should be to satisfy the supreme personality good. Just as in an office, it is a duty of worker to see the proprietor or master is satisfied. So everyone's duty is to see whether Supreme Lord is satisfied one's activities. Activities to satisfy Supreme God person, Supreme Godhead are prescribed in Vedic religion. Executing of such activity is called yajna. See, that is only yajna. In other words, acting on behalf of Supreme Lord is called yajna. One should know very well that any activities besides yajna is cause bondage. Finish. So clear. This is explained because yajnartha karma anyatra lokoyam karma. Karma bandhana means that if we do not work for the satisfaction of Supreme Lord Vishnu, then the reaction of our work will be bind us. One should not work for his own sense gratification. Everyone should work for the satisfaction of God. That is called yajna. So somebody higher you are working also, and that is connected to the Supreme Lord, it is yajna. That's all. We work for our Guru's pleasure. Guru works for Krishna's pleasure. Finish. That's why after the yajna was performed by Daksha, all the demigods accepted prasad. The remnants are food offered to Vishnu. Lord Shiva is one of the demigods. So naturally, he also expected the share of prasad for yajna. But Daksha, out of his envy of Lord Shiva, neither invited Shiva to participate in the yajna nor gave him his share after the offering. But after the destruction of yajna arena by the followers of Lord Shiva, Brahma pacified him and assured him that he would get his share of prasad. Thus, he was requested to rectify whatever destruction was caused by his followers. So, the same formula which we discussed now, Prabhupada is writing, it is said all the demigods are satisfied when one performs yajna because the demigods expect prasad from yajnas and yajnas must be performed. Those who engage in sense gratificatory materialistic activities must perform yajna, otherwise they will be implicated. For us, everyday chanting is yajna. Whether doing chanting, if you do anything, finish implicated. Thus, Daksha, being the father of mankind, was performing yajna, and Lord Shiva expected his share. But since she was not invited, there was a trouble. But the meditation of Lord Brahma, however, everything was mediation of Lord Shiva, Brahma, everything settled. So Prabhupada is writing huge purport on this. And the performance yajna is very difficult because all the demigods must be invited to participate in the yajna. In the Kali Yuga, it is not possible. Not possible. Nor it is possible to invite demigods. Therefore, yajna is Sankirtana Praya. Just chant Hare Krishna. Those who are intelligent, they perform this yajna. But unless one pleases the demigods, there will be no regulated seasonal activities of rainfall. You see, they should be pleased also. Everything is controlled by demigods under the circumstances in this age. In order to keep the balance of social peace and prosperity, all intelligent men should execute the performance of Sankirtana Yajna. So for us, this Sankirtana Yajna only. This yajna will, of course, and distribution prasad also. This yajna will satisfy all demigods, and thus there will be peace and prosperity in the world. Another difficulty in performing Vedic ritual is that if one fails to satisfy even one demigod out of many hundreds of thousands of demigods, just as Daksha failed to satisfy Shiva, there will be disaster. So all the mantras should be chanted properly. And in this age, the performance of sacrifice have been simplified. One can chant Hare Krishna and be pleased, and by pleasing Krishna, one can satisfy all demigods automatically. Thus, in the Bhaktivedanta purport of the fourth canto, sixth chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Brahma Satisfied Lord Shiva. Thank you very much. Any questions, comments? Okay, thank you. Hari Bol. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, शील प्रभुपाद की जय।